Thank you for joining us on Final Drive TV. My name's Nick Pappas, and we are here at Thunderhill Raceway for round number 7 of the 2018 United States Touring Car Championship. If you were with us last time for round 6, you saw an amazingly crazy race with cars going off track, car-to-car contact, angry drivers, and even a grass fire. Today, we see a lot of different points battles and some very close ones. One of which is in touring car. It's a 20-point difference between Gary Sheehan and Patrick Chio, and this is the final round. And then, if you look at Sportsman, you have Nick Romano with a very, very slim lead over his competitors. It's all to play for today, and 7 months worth of racing comes down to 40 minutes. Next, here on Final Drive TV.
We design it. We build it. We test it. At AFE Power, we've been making the world's best vehicles even better since 1999. Today, we have parts for more than 3,600 different applications. We've got 200,000 square feet devoted to building and delivering more speed, foreign and domestic, cars and trucks, intakes, exhaust, electronics, and suspension. We're in the business of horsepower and handling. Designed, tested, and manufactured in the USA. It's all we do.
Welcome to another episode of Final Drive TV. I'm Rick Nanini, joined here today in the booth by Eric Martinez. Eric, welcome. What do you think about this fantastic Thunderhill racetrack?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It is exciting to be here for the final race of the season. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about this weekend, and a lot of changes have been made to these cars, but after a whole season of racing, it's going to come down to this one race to decide the championship for 3 of the 4 classes in the championship. So it's going to be kind of exciting, don't you think?
Absolutely. Everyone's giving it all, and yeah, they want to win. Yeah,
so we're going to talk to some of the Sportsman drivers, the biggest battle, and we'll see what they have to say.
So Nick, what changes have you made to the Lexus to make it race ready?
So we started off with just a totally stock car. I bought it on Craigslist. It was actually an automatic. We swapped it over to the factory 5-speed. And then it's mostly suspension work. We put a ton of components from Biggs Engineering in suspension, control arms, tow rods. He actually provided the diffuser as well that we've got on the back end, which is new for this race. And then we've got some coilovers from BC Racing with custom valving to the rates we chose. This car's got kind of a funky motion ratio. The suspension's a little bit weird, so we had a hard time getting a setup that worked really well, but this is by far the best we've had on the car so far. It's working really well, especially at this track. It actually it's working better here than it has at any track we've been to so far. Other than that, the brakes are all the stock hardware. It's just got some Carbotech pads in it. Another weird thing Lexus did, it's got single piston calipers in the front and dual piston fixed in the rear. I'm not sure why they did that. We've also just got this new spoiler on the car from Indotech Motorsport, so that's pretty cool. We'll see how much of an effect that has. What else have we done to this thing? It's got some Hotchkiss sway bars. It's got an old, we found a header from TRD back when they actually raced these cars in the early 2000s, so that's on there and kind of straight through. I think it's an HKS exhaust. Kind of a mishmash of stuff, but most of the stuff is from Biggs Engineering. That's been our biggest supporter this year. They put a ton of stuff. And then BC Racing came on board and they helped us out with the suspension as well.
What have you done to the car to make it race ready?
So it's really basic. It's right behind us. It's BMW 328i to start with. First off, we put in a cage. Safety is paramount in racing, so we have all the safety equipment, the harnesses, the roll cage, which reinforces the chassis. So when we go into a rollover, you know, the car is strong enough to not collapse into me, the driver. Other than that, you know, we got fire extinguishers, a race seat that's fixed. You can't really adjust this seat back. You know, those are the basics of a race car. And then we have obviously suspensions. Those need to be upgraded from a street car because a street car has the idea of being comfortable. So in a race car, you just want to go quick. So we gotta stiffen up the suspensions. We have KW suspensions working with us this whole season, and it's been phenomenal. You know, the car basically went from, well, simply put, we went from 3rd place to 1st place with them. So really happy with KW. And then mid-season, we actually had a new engine. So we went from a 2.5 liter 328i engine to a 330. So a little bit up in horsepower, gave us a little bit more legs on the straight, which was really good because we were losing on the straight compared to our competitors.
Yeah, these guys have certainly made a lot of changes to their cars over the course of the season. And yeah, it's nothing like it was back in April when we first revisited Thunderhill Raceway.
Absolutely. Same track, completely different situation.
Yes, exactly. So let's get down to our starting grid and see who's in the lineup today. On pole position, we have Henry Schmidt driving the BMW San Francisco BMW M4 GT4. Next to him, Doug Makashima driving the MCS TNI Racing BMW M3.
Next row, we have George Kibilov of the SGK Performance BMW M3. Next to him, it's Patrick Chio in the Speed SF iLap Timer Autologic Nissan 350Z.
Next row, we have Larry Banney, the 2018 Super Touring Champion, driving the GoGoGear.com Konig Wheels BMW M3. Next to him, Gary Sheehan, in the hopes to be the 2018 champion and driving the GoGoGear.com Konig Wheels Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
Next row, we have Art Nersisyan of the GoGoGear.com Konig Wheels Hyundai Genesis. Next to him, we have Sam Stowell in the BAF Autobody Jaguar XKRS.
Next row, Chris Allegro driving the TNI Racing Apex Racing Ford Mustang GT350. Next to him, Mark McManus, Figs Engineering, Fresno Tap Recycling Lexus IS300.
All right, next row, we have Cedric Walker in the Life's Good Racing BMW M3. Next to him, it's Ken Kurtz in the TNI Apex Racing BMW M3.
Next row, Edgar Lau, the Bueller Vineyards VCT BMW 328i. Next to him, Pete Bovenberg, Supertech, Rota Wheels, Honda Civic Si.
Next row, we have Nick Romano in the GKR Racing Indiotech Motorsports Lexus IS300. And next to him, it's Michael McColligan in the Mazdatrix Racing Beat Beautiful Mazda RX-8.
Next row, Andrew Gardner in the AGardner Racing Ford Mustang. And next to him, Tom Milburn in the Bay Area Drafting Acura RSX.
All right, and we'll go to commercial break, see what happens after that. Welcome back. Everyone's set up for the standing start. We got the green flag up.
And we're getting ready for the drop, and here we go. Nick Romano got a great launch way back in the Sportsman class, trying to get past two wheels in the dirt, trying to get by. Wow, going into turn one, this looks exciting. And up front,
well, up front we have Henry Schmidt of the San Francisco BMW GT4. Looks like he got a great start and he's leading the pack.
Great move by Henry, but here the big great battle is between Patrick Chio in that orange Nissan and Gary Sheehan, 2 cars back in his Hyundai Genesis. These two guys are going for the championship in the touring car class, and Patrick absolutely needs to win this race if he has any hopes of clinching the championship.
Oh, look at that. And we have Makashima and Kibilov battling it out right now in the
Super Touring class. These two guys are going at it right behind Henry Schmidt. Look at these guys go. Looks like Kibilov is a little quicker. He was a little quicker to the apex at that point. But behind them, great battle between Sheehan and Patrick Chio there with, who's that in the middle? Larry Banney is in the Super Touring class. He's in the middle of these two guys.
Yeah, he's in the middle. He doesn't belong there, but
he's just as fast. But you know what? He was trying to make a move. But behind them, I see the Jaguar coming up of that blue Jaguar XKRS of Sam Stoll, charging up to the front. Looks like he wants to pass these guys. But up front, those 3 cars are way ahead.
Oh, look at that. We have a 4-way battle for 3rd place in the Sportsman class.
Yeah, great fight between McColligan, Bovenberg. Wow, great fight back here in 4 different kinds of cars. Front-wheel drive, 2 front-wheel drive, and 2 rear drive cars, all battling it out for the 3rd place points in Sportsman.
And I believe McColligan is still in the points battle.
Yes,
but he looks
McColligan
like
and Andrew Gardner in that Mustang, the two of them. And here we go. Speaking of McColligan, we're on board McColligan as he's chasing down Bovenberg's Civic.
Here we go.
Trying to get onto the front straight. Looks like he's setting up Bovenberg, but then Bovenberg's trying to pass the Mustang in front of Andrew Gardner. But look,
Oh,
McColligan
what happened?
gets
He's
a great
taking
run.
the pass.
Wow, great run. Takes the position away from Bovenberg.
Yeah, Bovenberg slowed down. I wonder if something happened to his car.
Yeah, he slowed down a little
pretty-
bit, but then he seemed to speed up a little bit, though. So I don't know exactly quite what happened, but
Up front,
up
here
front,
with Nick Romano.
Nick Romano and that
like he's done
Lexus. Yeah, Nick Romano and Edgar Lau
Edgar
have
Lau.
been battling it out for the whole season in Sportsman. These two guys have been going at it, and any one of them could still win the championship. So it really depends on how this thing shakes out. The Sportsman battle has been tight all season long.
Up front, we still have Henry Schmidt leading the pack in the GT4. And behind him, Kibalov and
Nakashima
yeah,
have
they're
been
still
doing
battling
great.
it out.
Yes, certainly. And those two guys are actually very quick in the one GT car and two Sportsman cars. Have been kind of pulling away from the rest of this pack. They're turning away way faster lap times, of course, being much more powerful cars. And we see that M4 GT4. This is a beautiful car. First race in the season with us this year. This is a factory-built car from BMW Motorsport.
And we got 1, 2, and 3 in turning class there. Patrick, Gary, and Nersisyan. looks like.
Nersisyan. Yeah, those three guys have been going up front. But we saw that Jaguar XKRS of Sam Stoll. But looks like Nersisyan's trying to get on the inside.
Is he going to make the pass? Let's
Turn
find
one,
out.
going into it. Looks like he did. Yes, he
did.
did.
He did complete the pass. I wonder what happened there.
So this is going to be an issue that should be we should be watching, because I wonder if that was a planned move on them to do this for team orders, or is something's going on with Sheehan's car, because it's not like him to slow down like this.
Yeah, he needs to keep that at least third position to
win the championship.
To win the championship,
Yeah,
correct.
for sure. As long as Patrick, and you see him right there in that orange Nissan, as long as Patrick Chio is leading the class, Sheehan has to finish third place. If he drops one more position, he can kiss the championship goodbye, and Patrick Chio will win the championship.
Yeah, and Patrick's doing pretty good. One of his favorite tracks. He does really good. He gets a lot of wins here.
He does really good as an understatement. I think in the last 3 years.
Oh, look at that! Stowell off.
Wow, look at that! Don't stop!
Oh, he's
Stop!
coming
Don't
back.
hit! Oh my God, that was so close.
All that dust. I wonder if they could see anything. Hopefully, no one's running.
Almost
runs into
collected
him.
Larry Banney, as Larry Banney was doing 120 miles an hour at that point. Wow, that was close.
Would not be pretty.
That was close, but here comes a bunch of more cars trying to pass that car. Wow. I wonder if there's a full course yellow. I see the yellow
We're gonna have
flag
the yellow
waving,
flag for sure.
but I don't know if it's going to be a full course yellow or not. But in the meantime, here comes a battle.
There's a battle
Sportsman.
for third place in Sportsman. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Andrew Gardner there in that Mustang right now, third place with Milburn in that RSX. 2 front-wheel drive cars, 2 rear-wheel drive cars, all fighting it out, going into turn 15. These guys are pushing hard, trying to get that victory. And oh, look at this! This is a battle in Nick Romano and Edgar Lau. Nick Romano gets bottled up behind Cedric Walker.
He gets a run. No.
No, he loses a little bit of position. It looks like Edgar Lau going on the inside, going to turn 1. Just got a run on him. Oh, wow, how frustrating it is for Romano at this point. But you know what? It's a long race. He has to put his head down and go.
So this is a common problem we have in multi-class racing. You know, we have fast cars and slow cars.
Yeah, look at this.
They're just fighting it,
pass
yeah.
Edgar on the outside. Wow.
Romano just wants to get around him, but Edgar is just riding that defensive line and won't let him by.
Yeah, and speaking of that, look at that. As Bovenberg trying to pass the Mustang. Wow,
Oh, we
who's
got-
that spun? Oh, that was
That's the
McManus.
Lexus, yeah,
That's the
McManus.
white Lexus McManus. Who just went off at turn 3. There he goes. He
He's
joined
back on the road. Let's see what he does.
Wow. Yeah, but Henry Schmidt still leading the class, leading the race.
Overall race, and then right behind him we have Kibalov and Makashima.
And Makashima still
Pushing
1, 2,
hard.
3 running there, running up front. And here we have Larry Banney with Patrick Chio still behind them. But
It looks like he built a pretty big gap, and Nersisyan just can't. You know, it doesn't seem like he can catch up.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too, because it looks like Patrick is just untouchable at this moment. It looks like Nersisyan is trying all he's got, but it's just not going to be enough.
And Sheehan's in third place. I wonder if he's taking it easy, maybe to conserve gas since it's a longer race. Maybe they're not sure if the car's going to make it or not.
Yeah, that could be. This is a super long race. Some of the teams were worried about gas mileage, and gas mileage is something you have to really consider, because even if you finish the race, you got to worry about how much fuel you have left in your car for your weight. So because after the race, they will be weighed, and if you run too light, you will be disqualified.
Yeah, you'll be disqualified, and none of it counts.
And look at this, 3 black cars. It's the BMW of Cedric. Still, Cedric needs to let these guys go, because these guys are getting bottled up as we see this string trying to go on the inside. But Cedric needs to let these guys go. He's not in their class, and he's causing the jam right up there. And these guys are probably getting very frustrated.
Yeah, they're a lot faster in the corners, and he pulls away in the straights. But here we go. Let's see what happens in the next corner here.
And under braking, they'll probably catch right up to him. You know, he's got to be very careful, because generally speaking, what happens with stuff like this, the drivers get frustrated and somebody decides to punt them out of the way. So that's not going to be. But we saw the Lexus of McManus, also in touring class. He's going after that Cedric's car. So Cedric can't slow down too much, because of course he's trying to maintain his gap between Lexus and himself.
So we got a touring car, Sportsman, and another touring right behind them. Let's see what happens.
Other than that, everything is nice and cozy here. But yes, as we see, he's still leading. Wow, but look at that gap. The Lexus is closing. That 44 Lexus, Mark McManus, Figs Engineering Lexus, is closing up. Well, as you get on board with Patrick Chio's Nissan here, you'll see the sky, and that's because there's a lot of smoke here. That's because there are huge paradise fires happening to our north, about 40 miles to our north, and it's caused a lot of tragedy for a lot of families that have lost their homes. But what's brought over here for these drivers is tons of smoke, especially yesterday. Now today it was a little bit better.
Yeah, today it's cleared up a lot. It was pretty bad earlier, and I can only imagine being a driver, hearts racing and all that, and you got all that smoke bothering you, messing with your eyes. Luckily, everything's good. Everything's cleared up. Pretty sunny. You can still see some smoke in the horizon.
You can still see it, and like right there in that shot, you can still see it in the horizon, and you can definitely smell the burning smell in the eye. But it doesn't seem to, at least when you're walking around the paddock, it's not burning your eyes like it did yesterday. Yesterday was really bad.
Yesterday was bad, but looks like the drivers are doing good. It doesn't seem to be bothering them that much.
What happened here? This is Makashima. He stopped all of a sudden. Makashima stalled, and oh my God, the whole bunch of cars are going by.
Yeah, he was having a pretty good battle with Kibilov earlier.
He was running in second place in Super Touring. What is? Man! Oh no! It looks like the day is done for Makashima in that TNI Racing BMW.
Yeah, it's too bad. Again, they were doing really good, and we'll go to commercial break. See what happens after that.
What have you done to the Mustang to make it race ready?
Well, in general, there's the general prep of the car. It's stripped down pretty light. It's a heavy car, so we've gotten a few 100 pounds out of it. At the start of the season, it's got some stiff adjustable shocks on it. The car handles much better than it did last year, and that's the brunt of it.
Cool.
And a 91 octane tune as well.
Cool. What have you done in particular for this race this weekend?
Nothing to make the car faster. We've got some things planned for next season, but for today we're keeping the same setup, driving what I know, making sure the car is reliable, and so just making sure everything's tight, working well. We had to rebuild a shock earlier this season in the middle of a race weekend, so just trying to make sure I don't have any surprises like that for today. Have a good, clean race.
So, Michael, what have you done to the car to make it race ready?
We have had a lot of issues with getting the front of the car to work. And we had a little bit of contact with Laguna Seca, and the car has never been right since then. So just to be abundance of caution, we pretty much tore the whole front suspension apart. The whole left side is all brand new, and while we were at it, we've always wanted to put in some offset bushings to give us a little more camber adjustment. And Mazdatrix has great drop suspension products they provided for us, and we were able to install those and get a little bit more camber adjustment, a little bit more negative camber. And it seems to help a lot. We tried that today. We just did all the new scaling and aligning with that setup. It worked great. And while we had it apart, we also had our suspension partner, Eibach. They also rebuilt our shocks for us, and they seem to be working great. We set them back to where they were last time. They feel like just as good as new, brand new. So thanks, Eibach. We got brand new, relatively tuned up and nicely running shocks in the car. So other than that, we scaled it, aligned it, did our special MC Racing setup, and it's feeling good.
Welcome back. We are on board with Doug Makishima, and look at that. He gets the car going.
Yeah, looks like he's moving again.
He's moving.
Maybe he's
Not very fast, but he's moving.
he's definitely moving, so we don't need a full course yellow. As long as he doesn't get hit by another car.
Yeah, we got a fast corner here. Yeah,
track,
that
exactly.
could be intense there.
Yeah, and here comes Sheehan. He's coming on board, and that's Doug right up front. But looks like he's up to speed now. Looks like all's good. But you know what? Now Sheehan
Looks like he's slowing down a little bit, and Sheehan definitely does not like that.
Does not like him in front of him. He probably does not want somebody in front of him. It could be something bad happens, but yeah, it looks like whatever problem. Maybe the car just went to limp mode or something and just cleared itself.
Yeah, it's good now. Back to speed. He's full speed, it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. But our leader is way up ahead. That's Henry Schmidt in that BMW San Francisco BMW M4, way up ahead in the GT class. And we have Larry Banney here. Currently, he's running in second place in the Super Touring class. Banney is one of the drivers that had already clinched the championship. And
who's this? Slowing down again. Oh, Bovenberg.
Bovenberg, yeah, that's
slowed
Civic.
Down, yeah.
So this
that's the
long
second
race
time today.
we were talking about, this long race, and near the end of this race, it is affecting this because cars are starting to have mechanical issues. I wonder if what we talked about earlier is going to come into play with fuel.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys are out of fuel already, but probably not. We're not almost there yet.
This could definitely be one of the things where cars start running out of fuel near
especially
the
the guys they're pushing it for the points.
That was Makishima.
Makishima again?
I think he's probably just had enough. The car's had enough with this on the side of the road. Yeah, that was Makishima, and we have now. That's Edgar Lau.
Yeah, that's Edgar Lau. Where's
Nick Romano? We didn't see Nick. Well, ow! Look at that! Look at that smoke! Look at that smoke! You see that in the mirrors there. But that's beautiful. As we see that
Sportsman 1, 2.
That RSX is trying to make this interesting. We'll see. He's running out of time. I believe we're going to see a white flag very soon.
We got the white flag coming soon, so they don't have much time. Whatever you got to do it now.
Yeah, actually, he looks like he's got to run. He's got to
run on him.
Inside of 15, 14. Is he going to make it? He's got the superior brakes in that lighter car.
He's on the inside. Oh, we got Doug in the way.
Doug is in the way.
He just wants to get off the track and not get hurt.
But whoa, be careful. Don't cause a collision here.
There goes Milburn.
Looks like Milburn made the move going on the 15. Yes, he made a stick, and there we see the white flag given to our leader, Henry Schmidt. Wow, that Mustang put the wheel off in the dirt. Hope he doesn't cause any issues, but we are getting close now. This is it. Patrick Chio still leading in the touring class, but Gary Sheehan in third place still. So as we see our sportsman battle, we're waiting to see who comes up here, who's going to be next, because we see Bovenberg. He's still going, charging hard.
And we have checkered flag. Henry Schmidt wins GT class in his BMW GT4, and Patrick Chio wins touring class in the Nissan 350Z.
Yes, but while those two guys got to have the checkered flag, we have still a lot of battle going on.
We still have the sportsman fighting, and look at that smoke in the
his wheels. That's the RSX locked up his wheels, trying to hug the inside of turn 1450.
And Andrew Gardner on the outside, and he gets a little run. I wonder if something's wrong with the RSX of Milburn.
Wow.
Andrew's pulling on him.
Finish track race.
Who will get it?
Who's gonna get it? We can't tell. I think
looks
it was
like
Andrew.
the Mustang.
I think it
looks
was
like
the Mustang.
Yeah.
Just squeaked by. Wow, what a fight! Look at that.
Oh, he's excited. Definitely, it was definitely him.
Definitely excited. So in the Super Touring category, we have George Kibilov winning. In the SGK Performance BMW M3, Larry Banning finished second, Doug Nakashima finished third. In touring car class, Patrick Chio won, Art Nersisyan came second, and Gary Sheehan finished third, but managed to win the championship. Edgar Lau wins the Sportsman class, with Nick Romano finishing second. Andrew Gardner, in a great fight with Tom Milburn, finished third. And Henry Schmidt wins in the GT class with Sam Stowell finishing in second place. So thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and on YouTube. Thank you, and see you next time.